Okay, welcome back. So what I've been doing today then is playing around with this Brit Jubilee, the Marshall Silver Jubilee amp that was on the second to last update. The last main update, you know, we're not counting bug updates. So classic, really nice Marshall tones. Done a 4-channel preset, clean, more overdriven actually, that one, not rather than just pushed. We are changing channel there, so these middle two are into this rhythm clipping channel. And then so one of the artists that is kind of linked with this amp is Slash, so I've kind of started with getting this Yamaha Studio Lord guitar out. To get and it gets exactly where you would think it would get you. So I've kind of crafted this preset. So sorry, I've digressed. So these 4 channels, I've tweaked a little bit, but mainly what I did was use the this focus view for dragging down, not quite into the 4. I can't remember how I did it now, but adjusted them to this. So we've got these 4 parameters, and then if we go back and I show you what I'm doing on here as well, and I've got the hype at 5.5. Which I really like. Just seems to, if you get a pretty good sound coming from the sound, your settings, and then just add that hype, it just seems to give you something more. Could be just a bit of volume. Everything sounds better with it loud. Right. So we go back to clean. So what I've done, pretty simple single chain. I'll start at the end as I usually do. Got my usual loudness EQ. Those are the studio compression, LA comp settings. Usual. I've got a little bit more of a bigger low cut there. Bit of a tilt thing happening, and on the high cut 5.6, which is pretty standard for what I usually. Often what I'll do is I'll set that up first and then go back to the amp. And I got some sounds that I quite liked, and then I thought, I'll mute this cab, and I just basically went through some of the other cabs, which obviously changes the mics as you go through them. So it could be just that I find that this 47 condenser mic is working well, but when I got to this Cali V30, which the same similar kind of thing, I just like to thought I'd try something rather than just using the same cab. So I probably would be as happy with this this Brit V30 with that this condenser mic. And then again, I did my usual thing where I will use I can't remember what it's called now. This block in the volume, this studio width, and flip the right, sent it through a mono gain block to basically check it out of phase, summing the right and left into mono, looking for the thinnest sound, and then basically flip that phase and delete them blocks, and that's where I've got my 2 stereo cabs. And then kind of just tweaked some of the sound, with the presence, I think was the main thing actually. I think on this push. just a little bit too much. And then added this slash wall, which I've had on my previous Helix for quite a while, which I've just not the camera, which I've had on my my previous Helix for quite a while, and I found the settings for the slash signature model, and I think I've changed these. I can't remember what they're changed from. I think I'm correct with that. Which if we go to a tube screamer, adding some Marshall's scoop, so adding some mids, reds, just keeping that all a bit more even. What else? Oh, this tri-chorus, which is affected by the snapshots. If we look here, the mix here on this clean channel is at 40, and then it comes down for the push to 35, down to 30, and down to 26. Yeah, it gets those quite classic Guns N' Roses tones. Try that without this tape a little bit. So if we look at the tape delay, again, it's affected by the 4 snapshot channels. We're going from a pretty low mix and gradually getting higher to this 38%. And then I think I was kind of thinking along the lines of a JCM 900, so I've put a spring reverb, which I've affected the high and low. And we've got a mix of 30 on the clean channel, going down to 23. And then a crunch down to 20. And a down to 16 on this So yeah, one thing I was playing around with was putting this wall before the and after. So put it back again. Yeah, I think I'll keep it in a traditional place. So at that point, usually when I've been making a preset, I'll go up here and remove that. And finding it's a bit low, I usually adjust it with this. When I get to a situation where I'm plugging into a big speaker or into a PA. My power cab, for example, has got a little indicator for gain for the when it's peaking, so I can just adjust that with that. But I like having it low, but mixing it, dialing it in with that So yeah, when I first plugged in and started with this Jubilee, I was a little bit underwhelmed with it, but you know, playing around with the this focus view and my usual kind of bits and bobs, I'm quite happy with it. So I'll make this available free on my Buy Me a Coffee page. If you're really enjoying it and you feel like throwing me a few dollars, I'd really appreciate that. If you're enjoying these videos on this YouTube channel, if you could give me a like and subscribe. I'm trying to do something most days. Really enjoying playing around with these. Yeah, and if you've got some Guns N' Roses songs that you want to play through, download this and let me know what you think. But yeah, I think that'll do for today. Until next time, goodbye.